All right, hi there. This is Dr. Matthew J. Traum. This is the fourth lecture of the engineering design course. Just a quick reminder, the way that I run these lecture videos is I'll let the video run for about 7 minutes. That's about the time span that people can pay close attention to what I'm saying. And then at the end of 7 minutes, I'll pause. That'll be the end of that video. You guys can take a quick break, get a drink, come back. And then we'll keep going through subsequent videos until we reach the end of this particular lecture. So without further ado, let's jump into this lecture. So today we're going to talk about creativity and ideation. And it turns out that even though everybody has this capability, it turns out to be the most challenging typically for novice designers and definitely novice designers who are also engineering students. And the reason for that is because as engineers, particularly in lower division courses, we are trained that there is a systematic process that one goes through to solve problems. And once you've achieved a solution to a given problem, that's the end of the process. You've got the solution. You don't need to look for any other solutions. It turns out, as we know, because engineering design is nonlinear, non-hierarchical, that type of philosophy does not work for engineering design. So it's important to have some techniques to spark creativity and induce ideation. So this slide describes the need for and the attributes of ideation. The first is the one that I just described, which is having a formal process of ideation reduces that early fixation on one solution that's particularly endemic in novice designers and undergraduate engineering students starting design for the first time. The second is it facilitates a thorough exploration of possible design solutions. So you can, through creativity, look at more of the design space and the solution space than if you did not have some sort of formal creativity inducing or ideation process. Third is that these processes, by their very nature, encourage and invoke human creativity. So like I said, everybody can do this. Every human being is inherently creative, but sometimes you need a catalyst, a spark, to really bring that creativity out. And these formal creativity and ideation processes do that, at least for most people. The next is that these processes increase idea flow by removing mental blocks that sometimes inhibit creativity. So as we talk about the various solutions, one of the main things that you'll hear from me is as you go through the ideation process, there is no such thing as a bad idea. There is to be no criticism. No idea is too outlandish, too crazy, too silly, at least to appear in at least the initial stages of an ideation process. The fifth attribute is that these processes are team-based. So it's very rare that you can go off on your own and generate a number of really good ideas and completely explore the entire design space. It usually helps to bounce ideas off of a team of people that have a diverse background of experiences, which leads us to number 6, which is all of these processes capitalize on diversity. I don't say a lot about politics in my engineering lectures, but this is one point that I will make, that there has been a huge push to try to encourage women and minorities to become engineering students, and this, at least in my mind, is the most important reason to push those students into our field, is because they bring a diverse set of experiences and a different background than maybe the normal conventional engineer, and we need that diversity and that experience and that broad range of thinking from those different groups of people to come up with the best possible solution. So it is really important to have a team of diverse people with a wide range of experiences as you're going through these ideation processes. Okay, there are a bunch of different ideation methods, but they essentially have the same four goals. So the first one is to formalize the ideation procedure so that there is a series of steps that you go through every time you need to generate new ideas and do ideation. The second goal is to externalize your design thinking, which essentially means three things. So first, if you're a designer and you have a really good idea, you want to extract that idea from your mind. You want to extract that idea from your mind first to free up more brain cycles for additional creativity so that you don't lose those good ideas, and you can think about them in more detail without forgetting the creative things you've come up with. And then second, especially if you're working in a team, which I espoused before, externalizing design thinking allows other people on your team to synthesize your ideas, so they can hear your ideas and they can take their ideas and put them in the mix with your ideas and come up with even better ideas. So externalizing all of the design thinking is an important goal. Ideation methods. Third, these methods allow avoidance of oversights that occur with informal methods. So if you have an informal method that isn't a systematic step-by-step method for ideation, you could potentially forget a step. And as we've talked about in the past, if you forget a step and you come up with a design that's less than optimal, the further you are in the design process, the more expensive it becomes to try to go back and make corrections. So good to avoid mistakes from the beginning by having a formal process in place. And then finally, these methods widen the search for solutions. So they allow you to more thoroughly explore the entire design space. So those are our goals here in creating a formal ideation process. Okay. So this is the brainstorming slide. I've reached 7 minutes, so I'm going to pause here, let you guys take a break, and we'll come back in a few minutes and continue with the lecture. So see you in just a moment.